There's a handful of games that I haven't been truly able to let go of. There's a lot of games out there that I think I'm tired of playing, but then suddenly I find myself losing days to them. One of those games is Roblox. I've been playing this game for quite a long time now. I mean, my first account was made way back in 2014. Point is, I've played a lot of Roblox, and I've seen a lot of the games it has to offer. From tycoons, escape obbies, simulators, incrementals, you name it, I've probably played it. However, even after playing all of these, none have stood out to me as much as this one specific game. And that game is called Juke's Towers of Hell. If y'all are unfamiliar with Roblox, you probably have no idea what the term obby means. In layman's terms, it's just parkour. It's when you jump over obstacles, get checkpoints, and eventually reach the end. It's probably one of the most popular game modes on Roblox and has existed pretty much from the very beginning. A lot of creators have put their own unique spins on the genre, but the thing that seemed to be lacking were two things: tension and difficulty. Obbies, for the most part, are catered towards children.
Literally, Grimace, Ohio, skipping.
Well, I mean, after all, Roblox is a kid's game, so I don't blame them. However, anyone with more than 5 brain cells will probably realize they are an absolute joke to clear most of the time. The obstacles are just laughably easy, and even on the rare occasion that you do fall victim to them, there's a checkpoint after every couple jumps, giving you a lot of room for error. In short, obbies got boring fast for me. I found them way too easy, and they ended up being more of a time sink than an actual challenge. I mean, Jesus Christ, the amount of stages in some of these are just like, wow. I'm surprised Roblox kiddies have even the attention span to do these. But anyway, that is until one day I discovered a game named Kiddies Towers of Hell, are known nowadays as Juke's Towers of Hell. The core gameplay loop of Juke's is pretty much the same as any other obby. Clear obstacles, get to the end. There is one big catch, however. So instead of going down a linear path like most obbies, you instead have to scale a tower in which there are no checkpoints. This one change to the typical obby formula was enough to make a world of difference. I mean, after all, no one has done this before. As I said, obbies are typically catered towards children, so removing that safety net of a checkpoint was a very brave decision. This adds an entire new layer of punishment to the game, as one small misstep can mean losing all your progress, with the only thing you take back to the ground with you is the knowledge of what comes ahead. Ah, man. The towers vary in both difficulty and length. Some will give you the same amount of trouble as any other obby, which is none, let's be real, while some will have you ripping your hair out. Some towers can take less than 5 minutes to clear, while some may take you well over an hour. There are many different towers in the game and a lot of them have their own unique gimmicks you need to learn, but the one thing they all have in common is how unforgiving they are. Okay, let's see if Roblox physics decides to fuck me over today. And it did. Well, what can you do? God damn it. The higher up you go, the more tense you get, and sometimes the nerves may get to you. It's very easy to lose yourself to the pressure, especially if you're doing the tower blind. There can be death trap after death trap following you, but even then the game forces you to push forward. The game is probably one of the most intense games I've ever played, rivaling things like JToH or Geometry Dash. There's entire 10-minute stretches of hands sweating and heart pumping as I try my best to regain my composure so I can clear the tower. And to me, that just makes the satisfaction at the end even sweeter. Oh my god. Okay. Most stressful jump in the tower. That is a tiny block and that is the last jump in the entire thing. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh my god. Ohio! Literally, with Grimace Shake, level 25 get in Ohio. The game in and of itself is quite the opposite of the gameplay it presents you with, because it's an entire rabbit hole to jump down into. When I say there's a lot of content, I mean there's a lot of content. There's a lot of secrets to be found, a lot of places to explore, and even the mechanics themselves get more and more ridiculous as you progress the stages. There's a lot of content to be squeezed out of this one tiny Roblox game, and you can honestly be occupied for weeks on end just climbing up the towers. Best thing of all, it's completely free, with none of the gameplay being locked behind any sort of paywall. Now, I'm well aware this isn't an original concept, far from it. There have been a lot of games that have come up in recent times that play around this exact thing, all putting their own unique spin on it. These games aren't unpopular, not at all. I mean, these games are the funny streamer reaction games that get put on YouTube Shorts and spread like wildfire.
I haven't heard that, but I've seen some of these documentaries. I haven't believed none of that. Hey, the game.
After all, the structure of the games are perfect for that. However, by adapting it to Roblox and mixing it with the intricacies of Roblox obbies, which, trust me, there's a lot more mechanics than you probably think, and the game's own gimmicks, you get a very fresh yet familiar experience. The game has a very classic aesthetic to it. For the most part, it has very simple structures and uses very simple parts to build them. It looks very rough around the edges compared to most modern Roblox games, but I think that just adds to the charm. This also gives way to incredible amounts of creativity in terms of gameplay. With a simplistic building, you can focus all your resources into making satisfying and fun gameplay. Every single block placed is used to its full advantage, and nothing is really there for no reason from what I've seen. Obviously, since this game surfaced, there are a lot of other hard obby games that have been floating around. One of the notable ones for me are the difficulty chart obbies. If you don't know what these are, let me explain. These are just your typical obbies, but the further you go, the harder the obstacle gets. Now, I probably shouldn't be comparing the two games too much, but in my opinion, difficulty chart obbies fall a bit flat compared to Juke's. Like I said, they follow the same linear structure as normal obbies with a load of checkpoints. Only difference is they get ridiculously hard in the later stages. However, they just feel like more of a grind than an experience in my opinion. Not saying Juke's isn't a grindy game, you definitely need to do a bit of bashing your head against brick walls to be able to clear the towers, but difficulty charts just lack the tension and satisfaction Juke's can deliver. The tension you get while climbing towers is unrivaled. There's no time pressure if you're just playing for clears, and there's nothing that can kill you except yourself really. Yet the stress the game puts you through is unreal. In the end, your biggest enemy while climbing is no one else but yourself. No. God. Man. Now, I'm not just making this video because I just want to talk about how hard and unforgiving it is. I mean, y'all are probably wondering why I'm making a Roblox video in the first place. Well, it's because I think the game really has something special going for it. Like I said, I've been playing Roblox for a long time, almost a decade at this point, and I've seen the game go through many different eras.
Grimace? You're real?
Recently though, I feel like the game has lost a lot of its magic and has become sort of oversaturated with copy-paste formula games. I don't know if I'm just getting old and seeking a sense of nostalgia, or it's just me who thinks this way, but I'm really growing tired of seeing the same anime clicker fighting game for the 80th time on the front page. And I mean, I love anime! Come on guys! To me, Juke's Towers of Hell is such a breath of fresh air. It's a new experience, yet it reminds me of Roblox days long gone through its simplicity and how genuine it feels. A lot of Roblox games nowadays either cater to a large audience by trying to be as accessible as possible, or just shove a dozen microtransactions in your face. Juke's Towers of Hell doesn't do any of this. In fact, it does quite the opposite. It has a very specific target audience, and it doesn't try to cater to anyone outside of that. Microtransactions in games are completely optional, and you can absolutely get the full experience without them. In fact, the microtransactions are for people who don't want the full experience. Now, I don't consider myself part of the Juke's Towers of Hell community. In fact, I'm not even that good at the game. But from what I've seen, it seems to have a very tight-knit and friendly community. They seem to be very supportive of each other and are just there to have fun playing the game. There are over 300 towers in the game, and a good chunk of these are actually player-made. If anyone watching is active within the community, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, but from an outsider's point of view, it seems very welcoming. The game doesn't have a big impact on the platform as a whole, at least I don't think so, but to me this game embodies what I love about Roblox. The simplicity, the creativity, and the community that lives within it intrigues me so much. Now obviously I'm not saying this game represents Roblox as a whole. No, not even close. I know there's a lot of issues regarding Roblox and it isn't really the cleanest platform out there. So no, this game doesn't represent Roblox. Instead, I think it represents a small yet cozy corner in the vast sea of Roblox games, unrelenting yet can be considered home for people who manage to conquer it. It's not so much that it represents Roblox as a platform, but embodies what I believe Roblox wanted to achieve. Roblox has always been a sandbox game platform where anyone can make whatever they wanted and share whatever they wanted. As with most platforms that make it into mainstream nowadays, a lot of it is just focused on making money, with only big name groups being able to take a slice of that cake. However, at its core, to me, Roblox will always be a way for anyone to be able to create anything, any type of game they wanted. Now, Juke obviously has a formula of its own, has its own dev team behind it. But like I said, the way the game is presented and the community it's trying to build embodies what the platform is to me. I have no problem with modern Roblox, don't get me wrong here, okay? I generally do think a lot of great things have been achieved and a lot of one-of-a-kind things have been brought to the table. However, a lot of big Roblox projects or just a lot of Roblox games in general are just kind of remakes or perhaps demakes of already existing titles. I have no issues with this per se, and I think it's generally harmless. I mean, we gotta give the little kiddies a chance to play Dark Souls after their mom graciously said they had it at home, right? The thing is with Jukes, it's just so uniquely Roblox. There's an experience you can only have within the platform. No other game out there has the same mechanics and feel as Jukes. It uses Roblox's gameplay to its fullest potential, crafting a game that can only be made possible within the platform and not replicated anywhere else. You're not playing Roblox to experience what another game could have felt like, you're playing Roblox to play Roblox. I'm trying my best to put into words the way this game makes me feel, but it's somewhat indescribable to me. The only way for people to understand is to probably just try it out for themselves. There's a very high chance the game won't click for you, and you'd probably wonder why I speak so highly of it. Like I said, the game knows its target audience, so those few people who manage to stick with it will undoubtedly fall in love. I don't know if this game just hits close to home because of my background with Geometry Dash, or it really is something special. Actually, for those of you who don't know, one of my first videos on this channel was me playing this game way back in 2018. Since then, I've been playing it on and off, and every time I do so, I enjoy myself immensely. Even if I get angry from a big loss of progress, I'm always determined to climb back up from the start, fighting the literal uphill battle the game presents me with. This game never fails to reel me in when it needs to, and it never fails to satisfy that feeling of accomplishment. And that is why, in my opinion, Juke's Towers of Hell hits different.